rate. And even here also business startup company, growth rate of startup company is very slow, starting very slow, and it cannot get the immediate popularity like that. It gets first the product or the unique solution has to be introduced into the market, and it has to be approved as a viable product. Okay, then only slowly it will get the popularity. It takes some 2 years, 3 years, or more than 10 years also sometimes. But business is not like that. Okay, profit. Yeah, in business, even from day one onwards, the investor can expect the profit. But that case is different in startup. In startup, you cannot expect the returns, the income from, especially in the initial days. It takes some time. So slowly you will get start the earning the money. And size of the team or management skills required. Business people, business organization, you have to identify the one team who can handle your organization, or you can who can organize your business, and you can deploy. But here in startup, the person who started it is the main person. He is playing the major role. He has to know all about the end-to-end process of that startup company. First, he should be very clear, and he has to educate even his team members. Then only he can run that firm successfully. So this is the major difference between the business and startup. Okay, let's see. These are all the top 10 startup companies in India who got succeeded. Even all these companies also initially faced with a lot of problems, like financial problems, legal issues, all type of problems they face. But later on, they overcome and stood successfully in the market. So cred, vernacular, and farm easy, digit insurance, we show grow. So not only this, and some of the popular startup companies like redbus.com, even redbus.com. Redbus, redbus.com is started in 2006. Actually, that guy, he founded by the Panindra, Panindra Swamy. He is from Bangalore. He used to work in Bangalore whenever especially at the time of festival time, he want to go to his native place. But that time, it is very difficult to identify the bus reservations. And by the time, there is no a single platform where all the bus seat availability information is there. So with that motivation, he started, included two more his friends, and started the one redbus.com platform. Now it is running very successfully. Now I think in 2019, latest revenue, it reached to the $10 million revenue. So these are all some of the is about the designing of prototype of product or process. But prototyping is one of the phase in product development phases. Actually, it is having 6 steps. Okay, according to the internet sources and the different persons, people will define 7 stages, 6 stages, 5 stages, like that. Whatever it is, prototyping is one of the phase in product development process. So when you want to develop or introduce a innovative product or solution or service, you have to come across these many phases. First one is ideation. To which you want to give the solution. And uh, next one is product definition. Product definition means just like a verification of your solution. You are going to give one product, you are going to produce one product or solution, whether that product or solution is feasible solution, whether it will be worked, is it having the proper what is that solution to the problem or not. Requirement gather. You have to collect the proper set of requirements, then only you could produce the or give the proper solution. In this stage, you have to give the proof of concept. Yeah, this is also very important. Proof of concept. Proof of concept means evidence. What evidence you are having that your solution is going to be worth, that you have to convey to the people or investors. Okay, proof of concept you have to decide in this product definition. Next one is prototype. Yes, you are having one solid solution in your hands and you want to start the uh, design or manufacturing of your product. First thing, all of a sudden no one can start the manufacturing of the real product or real solution, real process. So before that they will develop a one model, one sample model. Prototype is nothing but early release model of your real product. One company is there, company is going to launch one car with certain modern features. What they will do first, they will verify, they will design the prototype, they will do the all sort of testings. Okay, if the model or prototype succeeded against all the tests, then only they will start the uh, real manufacturing of that product. So prototype is also like that. Okay, uh, once prototype is valid, one more thing here, create mvp is also very frequently we are discussing. Minimum viable product. Viable product means your product or solution really satisfying or addressing the people problem or not. For which problem you have suggested this solution or product, really your product is uh, addressing that problem or not. And detailed design. So from here onwards, we will start the detailed design. Okay, refinement of prototype and design and business plan and GTM. GTM is go to market. Go to market means just like a one advertisement plan. How to reach your target people. You are having product. See, that product cannot be useful to all sort of all category of people, right? I developed one, what is that, optical character, like a OCR based glasses for blind people. Who is the target? Who are the target people in that? Blind people. So I no need to ask each and every one. I need to reach the people who are visually impaired. I will ask. I will test on them. I will take their experience whether they are comfortable with this product or not. That and all. So that the go-to-market plan in GTM, and that validation testing has to be done by taking the end user experience. Finally, once you have successfully crossed all these phases, then you go to the market and commercialize your product. This is the phases each and every unique solution or product in startup company has come across from ideation to commercialization. Okay, so again, the same thing here. These are all the pre-startup. Every startup development phases are having three phases: uh, pre-startup, startup, and growth. Okay, and here, ideation or pre-seed stage. This is the ideation where you need to confirm the your problem statement or a problem, and POC, verify the proofs. You make it ready, the all sort of proofs that your solution going to be worked well. And next one is design of prototype and MVP, minimal viable product or not. That. And next one is testing and validation going here, and finally go for the commercialization. And okay, prototyping. Okay, what is the definition of the prototyping? Uh, a prototyping is the integral step of product design and development. As we discussed, actually product design and development might be having the 6 stages. Among the 6 stages, prototyping is also one of the phases, one of the 6 phases. And prototype is an early sample or model or release of product built to test a concept or process or to act as a thing to be replicated learning from. Okay, so this is a prototype is nothing but a replica, a copy, a replicated model of your original product. Okay, so what is the advantage to design the effective prototype of your model? Yes, you can exhibit your prototype in exhibitions, project exhibitions, or you can approach the investors yes, this is my product for so on so solution, and these are all the target group of people, like that. So you prepare the having effective prototype, you can easily grab the investors. You can easily grab the investors, and the goal of the prototype is evaluate an idea, and so this is the prototype definition. And these are all the usually even prototype, it may be a one of the six stages. Even internally prototype designing a prototype is also having internally multiple stages. First, initial investigation. Okay, first you gather the proper requirement, how your prototype should looks like, what are the features that should be reflected in your prototype, and gather requirements and design that product, design that prototype, and adding the coding. Coding means it comes if it is a app oriented thing, that and all. Testing and review. Internally you have to, this is a closed loop closed loop process. So recurrently you have to do until unless, okay, you are getting the expected result, and then you start the implications and maintenance process. So this is the cycle. And here some of the example. Usually startup companies focusing on the developing of apps. The thing is, the major problem in startup companies is getting the investors and the cash problems. So people are tendency is to develop the apps. Developing of apps doesn't require any investment, much huge investment. So people obviously interested to develop the apps as a startup companies with the target groups. So initially, first on a paper sketch prototype you design, and later you add some functionalities and layout, and then add it some more features, and finally you start the intended app. And even here also analysis and a quick design, and conceptual design helps to determine the factors of final product. So conceptual design means uh, effective gathering of requirements and framing of prototype design, and testing and validation, consulting proper key, okay, getting approval of your product, okay, taking suggestions. All this will help you to design the effective prototype. Okay, so these are the six stages of prototyping. Problem understanding. So here understand, first you understand the problem, and analyze, and solution planning. Analyzing means you gather what are the requirements it needs, requirement gathering, and solution planning, and the research and brainstorming. We take even stakeholders here, contact the stakeholders who are all either directly or indirectly affecting with that product or solution, take their opinion also, and then you design the prototype, followed by testing and validation. Okay, a prototype also having different kind. This is somewhat important. Prototype. What are the different type of categories are there based on the nature of your problem and solution? You can go with any one of these prototype. The first one is working prototype. Working prototype is almost equal to the your final product. All functionalities, all working principles should be reflecting in that prototype. And recently I heard that some famous car manufacturing company released a prototype of its newly arrival car model, but it is having all the features just like a toy car. It is looking like a toy car, but the cost is 30 lakhs, even more than the one normal four-wheeler vehicle. They released a very popular company released that type of working prototype, comes under the working prototype. And a visual prototype. Visual prototype means the product almost should looks like a real product. All the visual, the shape, and um, the features all should reflect the that real type product. User experience prototype. User experience prototype means the user has to test it and feel it, has to give the experience for that prototype. If the prototype is having these features to test and taking the user experience, then it is a user experience prototype. And a functional prototype, it is also similar to working prototype, but it is almost equal to the final product, but in some features or some conceptual, it is not equal to the final product. Okay, and types of prototyping usually from olden days to now. In the last 10 years back or 5 years back, people used to develop the traditional machining. Physical prototype is nothing but traditional way. And next one is later on people used some computerized tools to design the model, like CAD computers, simulation tools um, to show the car model or any machinery models, 3D visualization tools they use. And later on, now the current advanced technology is virtual reality and augmented reality. With this one, the end user really feel that he is using that end product. What is the experience he is getting while he will be using the product? That type of experience he could gain by using this virtual prototyping. Okay, so these are all the some of the phases. How they will go first, collect the concept and take the review. See, in all the cases, they are having the review. For every stage, they will take the review and take the corrections based on the suggestions or comments given by the review team. So initially, they will take the first they will present the concept in front of committee and take the feedback and correct it, and they will go to the digital model. As we discussed, in digital model we will use some simulation tools. And next, proof of concept. As we discussed, proof of concept means evidence, gathering the evidence that your product is going to be worked, and take again feedback. And next, functional prototype, and again take the feedback. And a dry run is nothing but trial run. You do the trial run and take the again feedback followed by correction, and next you get the approval. After that, that product will go into the live production or and introduced in the market. So what we can observe is prototype is the one of the major phase among all six phases of process or product development. Okay, these are all the related things. The same how your prototype will be developed, starting from ideation to manufacturing. Okay, trial, concept prototype, functional prototype, test run, followed by final product. And this is the comparison of traditional method and advanced method. Traditional method means physical prototype versus and virtual reality prototype. You can see the difference between even budget also, how much budget is incurring in between developing physical prototype and virtual prototype. Okay, so this is all about our concept prototype development. Uh, Prototype development. What is the definition of prototypement? What impact of having efficient prototype, and what are the stages that are the types and the categories of prototypes? These are all the complete details of prototype design. Okay, just briefly I will give technical details of my funding project. Actually, title of the project is a DST project. We started it in 2020, categorizing the scope, opportunities, challenges, and future trends in technology entrepreneurship education in India. Actually, my friend is principal investigator, and co-investigator of this project. So, what is the objective of this one? Yeah, the motivation is that India is having large, huge population, nearly 144. Still, we are having, even though we are having educated people, okay, technically sound, even then people are jobless. Okay, to fulfill this gap, the best solution is encouraging the startup companies. Even people also tried and applied so many startup companies, but very few number of applications or startup companies are succeeded. There is a huge gap. People are not aware of process how to get success in their startup companies. Okay, so to fulfill that gap, we are taken up this project. So objective of this project is assess the current level of technology entrepreneurship education in India. First of all, education wise, what is the level of entrepreneurship education that we are providing to our students starting from high school level? Starting from high school level, I think completely business model is oriented to the MBA people, people who are studying what is that medicine, medical students and engineering students, completely up to completion of their graduation, not having any market strategies and startup company knowledge that are not. They're completely engaging with their technical education or their medicine education, whatever, even in professional students, especially the student could be law student or engineering, or only the MBA students are available with this strategy, market strategies, how they can commercialize their product and get the profits that are not. So when all of a sudden completion of their education, technical education, they want to get into the entrepreneur or starting the startup companies, people are struggling lot with this lack of knowledge. So we need to strengthen this education, entrepreneurship education, starting from high school level. We need to take some curriculum changes, that also suggestible. And next one is identify the entrepreneur, what is that, importance of entrepreneurship education, and identify some trusty areas, just like a virtual virtual healthcare, rural villages, increasing mobility for disability, and connecting people through social network apps. We are having good effective social media, so we can use that social media to communicate rural people or remote people, even some health hill stations. People cannot reach there in time of floods or earthquakes that and all. We cannot give the quick rescue operations to them. So to fulfill that, we can uh, of these startup companies in that gap areas. Okay, so in our project, we did it is effective research, background research, data collection, and one more thing, people are not aware of two things. One is technical knowledge. Second one is information about the investors. Number one, what are the technical knowledge they should have to run their startup? That is one problem. Another one is who can invest to their products, how to grab the investors. That is also, these two are the very biggest challenges in running the startup companies. So we addressed that in our data collection, so general information, and taking the survey of stakeholders also. Okay, followed by data analysis and validation. For validation, we formed one committee from business schools. We used to take their suggestions. Okay, finally our outcomes are one tangible and one intangible. Tangible, intangible. So our outcomes is to prepare the one technical support system. Technical support system means one entrepreneur has to get all information, technical information, and investors information in that platform. So to develop that technical support system and to encourage that entrepreneurship education starting from high school level. That is also curriculum, taking the curriculum changes, that is also one output. And taking the survey, conducting the surveys, and taking the proper feedback from the youth, especially entrepreneurs who have completed their education, looking to looking for start companies. Okay, this is our model. Okay, briefly I will discuss here. So these are all the database from journals, books, and websites, interviews, surveys. From these we will gather the information and the gaps and requirements and passing to the technical support system. Mainly it is developed with the help of deep learning technology, and taking the census data also supporting system. And next, one more thing, we are having the vernacular facility. That means if persons who are not good in English can also use this information in their local language, native language. So language translation unit. And finally, the information is available with the gadgets like mobile phones or through websites. So this is the thing. Uh, okay, so some of the references I taken this information. Some of the sessions, those are already available under the IAC presentations in YouTube. I taken majority of the information from this link, and okay, and this is the some statistical information I taken. Census India and unemploymentindia.com. From these sources I taken information, and thanks to all of them. And so this is the presentation. Yes, do you have any queries? Lakshminarayan sir?
Yes, sir.
So,
Any queries, please ask. Sir, first of all, congratulations for getting the funding project from Department of Science and Technology.
yeah, thank you, sir.
Any doubts, queries, please?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir, very good morning, one and all. And first of all, I would like to thank Nageshwar
Sir,
sir
can you
and
please speak
Narayan sir.
loudly?
Sir, I have a small doubt, sir.
Yes, sir.
How can optimize our designing a prototype model in respective of the customer?
Come again, sir. How to optimize the prototype
Yes.
design?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, sir, how optimization of prototype means, first of all, we need to have the clear requirements. We need to gather clear requirements. You decide what is the nature of your solution or product that you are going to propose. Based on that, you select any one of the one working prototype. We have discussed some different categories of prototypes, right? Working prototype or visual prototype, okay, functional prototype. Based on your requirement, you select any one of the uh, category of prototype, and while you are developing that prototype, keep on you are taking the feedback from the reviewers. Then only you can overcome the uh, flaws in your model, so that you can optimize your prototype, or you can finally develop an effective prototype.
I will give one small example, sir. Suppose our student are designing PCB on the small trolley. Okay, sir.
Come again, sir. Your voice is low, sir. Yes, sir.
Suppose our students are trying to design PCB based on a smart trolley.
Okay.
Okay, it is useful in a mall. Okay,
Okay.
sir, I am audible to you.
Yeah, yeah, sir. I think you are from mechanical background, sir.
Sir, I am from electronics.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
Right, right.
That's why I am asking about you, sir.
Yeah,
How can we put in the prototype model in
yeah.
the reality?
Yeah, sir. Sir, it is even we are also not aware of mechanical department, but whatever it may be the product or solution that you are going to propose uniquely. First, you form the one. The first step is you form the one committee members who are all well in that particular area. For example, I think you are telling you are going to design a one model for the trialing and all. So you
Yeah.
take the
Yes.
persons who are eminent persons in that group, and take their suggestions and present your, that is the ideation for our First step is ideation. First you present your problem followed by your solution. This is my solution. What is the proof of concept? You prepare the proof of concept with the help of them. Whether do you have any valid evidence that your solution is going to be worked or not? To get it evaluated with the help of team members, and then you start.
Okay, sir. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
all of a sudden no one can start that. The main purpose of the designing of the prototype is it is a simply replica of our real-time product. What are all the flaws and cost effective, whether it is cost effective, that and all we need to decide in the prototype design itself. Once all of a sudden you started your manufacturing your product, you already invested some huge amount, middle of the process you cannot take a step back, right? To avoid all these troubles, we are depending on the prototype design.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Lakshmanan, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving a good answer to his doubt. Sir, as you said, so eminent committee and eminent review team
Yeah.
will give the good suggestions to produce the optimized product in the final phase.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Still will answer.
Yes.
Any doubts, please?
No, no,
Inquiries,
no,
please.
no, no doubt, doctor. The presentation was clear. It's
Yes,
clear.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody?
Lakshmanan, sir, what is the afternoon session, sir? I think at what time it will start, afternoon session?
Sir, I will intimate you soon, sir.
Okay. Dear participants, even afternoon session also very effective one. I request all the participants even to participate in that session also. Yes, sir. Lakshmanan, sir.
Ah, yes. Sir, shall I conclude?
Yes, sir. Yes, you can.
Yes, once again, thank you everyone for patience and for your enthusiastic participation in today's session. So that is prototype or process design and development. So Dr. Nageswara sir delivered a lecture in efficient way, and also he covered all the topics relevant to the unemployability and to be the employable individual in India, and also how the employability in current scenario of the world. And he covered that start and Sir covered all the topics related to the startups, and he covered the top 10 startups in India, such as Cred, Easy, Miso, Swiggy, Dream11, Udan, etc. And also he detailed that prototype meaning and different phases in prototyping and typical cost analysis regarding to the prototype. And also he covered his DST project, which is funded by Department of Science and Technology. So on different phases, objective, design methodology of your project explained in a good way, sir. And also you covered the important references of your project. Thank you, sir. And also it's my sincere thanks to our principal. Are you audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible. You are audible, sir.
It's my sincere thanks to our principal, Dr. M. Venkatratma Garu, for providing this opportunity. And also, it's my sincere thanks to our management of Kandala Group of Institutions, Dr. Chandrababu Reddy sir, Srimati Rajasabha Madam, Sri Madra Mohan Reddy sir, Sri Rajamohan Reddy sir, Srimati Veerasweta Garu. Thank you for giving this opportunity, conducting such a type of programs in virtual mode today, and further we will conduct this type of programs in live mode, that means say direct mode. Again, thanks to the today's resource person of the session, Dr. Sirisala Nageswararam sir. We need your cooperation in future also. Thanks to everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Email left, no problem. I will share the feedback form at afternoon session. Session 1 and session 2, a common feedback form. Fill it. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.